I would be against probably dispensing these out to habitual drug users.
A new controversial tool out now allows drug users to test their street drugs for fentanyl. This is a fentanyl test strip. They were originally developed as urine tests, but they've proven effective when mixed with water and a drug residue. Brown and University of Johns Hopkins study suggests the strips can be effective in preventing overdoses. Daniel Sexton looked into how these drug strips work and why people disagree over whether or not they should be in the hands of drug users. Daniel?
Brandon, these fentanyl strips work like a pregnancy test in reverse. They make knowing whether or not drugs have fentanyl in them as simple as two little red lines.
This little strip can be the difference between life and death. Mix it with water and drug residue, and one line tells you your drugs have fentanyl in them. Two lines means they don't. It can prevent an overdose, but it also raises concerns for pharmacist Matthew Crawford.
I would be against probably dispensing these out to habitual drug users because I think it's a false sense of security for them.
Max Pharmacy carries fentanyl, but the strips haven't reached these shelves yet. They're available online, and researchers at Brown and Johns Hopkins found they can prevent overdoses. In the study, half of participants who used the strips found fentanyl in their supply, which is incredibly dangerous. According to the CDC, synthetic opioids like fentanyl kill more Americans than any other kind of drug. Just 3 milligrams can be deadly. That's not even enough to cover up Lincoln's face on the penny.
It can be obviously very dangerous. I think that's why there's so many overdose deaths since this has become common.
The study showed that didn't stop all participants from using, but it made many more likely to use less or make sure someone was around who could call for help before they did use.
Just the presence of it in there would maybe be enough to steer somebody away.
Still, Crawford worries about what giving the strips out could lead to, especially since they can't tell how much fentanyl is in a solution and can't detect all types of the synthetic drug.
And there's other avenues for help rather than trying to just test to see if there is fentanyl and if there is, how much.
Again, a big problem with these is they don't tell you how much fentanyl is in the drugs, and it also doesn't test for what type of synthetic it is, and it could be a number of synthetics that aren't even tested positive on this. And on top of that, this is all pretty new. Some of the pharmacists, law enforcement officers, and addiction groups we called haven't even heard of these strips yet. Brandon?
Pretty interesting. Daniel, thank you very much. Well, 2 people in Knox County have already died this year from a suspected overdose. That's according to the Knox County District Attorney's Office. In all of 2018, 290 people died of a suspected OD. That number could change as autopsies are finalized. If you or somebody that you know is struggling with addiction, there are a lot of people and organizations out there who want to help. Organizations like the Tennessee Red Line and Metro Drug Coalition can give referrals. The Partnership for Drug-Free Kids has strategies and toolkits to help parents address substance use. We're going to turn now to the forecast. More rain moving in over